and gentlemen, welcome to Talking Shop. Here is your host, ComixDad!
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? ComixDad here for another episode of Talkin' Shop. This is not how this is supposed to start. Get out of here, you. It's my show. No, we'll bring it back up anyway. The surprise is ruined. Oh well, it's not like it's been tweeted places and in the thumbnail and in the title. It's like supposed to be a big surprise, and I ruined it. So well.
We were having a good time backstage. It's fine.
But welcome to Talkin' Shop, everybody. For anybody who's never been here before, this is a show where a guest and I, we talk all sorts of things, all sorts of different shops, as I like to call them, predominantly being comics, being one of them, but then also whatever my guest's quote-unquote shop is, be it a content creator, an artist, an author. I've had a former amateur professional wrestler / wrestling promoter on before. Carrow, you may know him as Kevin Apollo.
I do know Kevin. He's delightful.
Kevin is a great guy. Had him.
I love Kevin.
But I've also been having guests that are heavily involved in comics, be they artists, writers, editors, etc. And quite a few people from the place that. There we go. This fine person is associated with have been on the channel as well. But ladies and gentlemen, even though she's already on the screen, I'm still going to do it. I give you Carrow.
It's me. Oh.
Get on with it. Yes, get on with it.
Yes, get on with it. Yep, my the intro for the guests has not changed in the last however many long I've been doing this now, because I just think it's still hilarious. The overextended clap by Shia, the Monty Python and the Holy Grail. You can't beat it, no matter what anybody says. It's the best intro for guests of all time. But Carrow, how are you, lady?
I am good. I'm now grabbing the link because my husband was like, "You didn't send me the link," and I was like.
Definitely get that man that.
I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry.
We don't need people saying things.
Be like, why didn't you send me the link? I thought you loved me. It's like, I do love you. I'm sorry.
Oh, but no, that's fine. My wife, Queen Comics Life, she'd be the same way if she wasn't at work right now. But she started a new job about a month ago. It's second shift now.
Oh, does she like it?
It's all right. I mean, she's only been there about a month, but she's already told that she's gonna be, because she's working in like retail / customer service / like hospitality / food and drink making. Like, if you're familiar with what Wawa is,
it's a little bit everything.
Heard of Wawa? Yeah, it's kind of like Wawa, Sheets. I'm trying to think of some stuff like Culver's. Trying to think of stuff down by you that maybe.
I do like Culver's. I'm not gonna lie.
Like an upscale 7-Eleven or Quick Stop.
Oh, she might as well work at Buc-ee's at that rate.
Yeah, it's not as nice as Buc-ee's. Nothing is quite as nice as Buc-ee's. But no, it's all right. They're predominantly in like New Jersey and Eastern Pennsylvania. There's some in like Northern Florida, but they've been expanding. But no, she's been there for about a month. I mean, as a lot of people that have watched know. Both her and I, we went through a stint last year of unfortunate joblessness. That was kind of how the job market was going and everything. And she bounced around, tried a couple of things, and she actually ended up getting diagnosed with fibromyalgia.
Oh no!
Since you and I last spoke.
No.
So that's kind of limited her opportunities and possibilities while she was looking for work and stuff. So like some like lower skill stuff is kind of what she was looking for because.
So she's done her own character growth this year. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah, yes, but like she found a place where like I mean it's paying decently given the times, and fortunately the new job that I'm at also kind of covers the difference as well. But
Okay.
I mean, she's been there a month and she's already told, hey, I want to make you like a supervisor when we change stores to another town in like 6 months. I'm like, oh, okay, cool.
Hey, you know, showing up on time and doing your job does amazing things. It's quite remarkable.
Yeah. Well, especially when she's with like a bunch of late teens and early 20-somethings that they're kind of struggling just to meet the bare minimum of showing up. So like, it's definitely easy. It's to be ahead, but let's say hi to the chat real quick.
Oh, hello, chat.
We got this guy here. I don't even know why this guy's here. He's leaving a lurk while he's live on his show.
That's fine. He just wants to make sure I'm not spilling NDAs. That's what's going on. He'll leave his show to be like, you need to stop.
I mean, you know what? Just I've heard that there is a little bit of bullying that happens at Rippaverse, and that he is the main target of the bullying, and that you are on the main end of the outgoing bullying.
Listen,
So
when
go
you're
ahead and bully away.
when you're an easy target, I can't help it. But like, I will say in his defense, these days I'm typically picking on a Rudai over at Moonskull, because because they had me on a stream where they had like 10,000 followers, and he was like, you know, it's like, I know you've only been on a few times, but if you want to come and hang out, you're more than welcome to. And I was like, I would love to, right? And then they're like, yeah, you see, Arudai suffers from this case. It's called muppetosis. And I was like, what is muppetosis? And so they explained it to me, and I was like, oh, you don't know what you've done. So every Monday is Muppetosis Awareness Day. I just want you guys to know. Please, thoughts and prayers to poor Arudai. Subscribe to Moonskull and send him a super chat saying, it's okay, you'll be fine.
And you know what? I have actually been a big proponent of Muppetosis Awareness Mondays.
Yes.
I have been keeping an eye on that, so Arudai, our prayers and
our thoughts are with you, Arudai.
Are with you.
Yes, thank you. You know, he didn't choose this felt life, but he's coping with it really well.
Hey, felt lives matter too.
They do.
But anyway, back to the chat. We have Ultra the Gunna. What's going on? Says,
hello.
Wait, hold on. It's yo, because the big O at the end there. Mustafa.
What's up?
I'm sorry, I always struggle with your name, brother. I'm sorry. It's just because there's no underscore there. So like I kind of sometimes read it as most a fat, and then sad. And I know that's not right, but my brain immediately wants to say most a fat sad, and that makes me sad because I'm fat too. Sometimes it's sad being fat. But Mustafa, what's up, brother? The Merc Lounge says, "Hey y'all, what's going on, brother?" And so we should tell the HR in her mirror. You pronounce it just fine. I'm gonna no. I was just playing around, man. You don't gotta change your username at all. Don't worry about it, dude. I'm just having some fun here. But and then I think we are live on YouTube, Rumble, X, Blaze, Twitch, Kick.
All the places.
All the places for the most part. Gonna be live on maybe 1 or 2 additional platforms in the coming months. We'll see how things go. But now that we've done all that, like, share, subscribe, follow, repost, all that stuff. Carrow, you had a lot of things going on over the last year. A lot of good, a couple of not so good, but then some of the not so good turned into really good. So, just kind of a brief TLDR for everybody. And whatever you want to include. Whatever you don't, feel free to leave out. But just in a nutshell, kind of what have you been up to since you and I last got together on my little shit show here a year ago?
I think the last time we got together was talking about like Rippaverse 3, right?
Yes.
Okay.
It was, and it wasn't announced yet, but the chat was desperately asking for this.
Yeah.
And guess what, chat? You got it now.
And there's two. There's 2 on pre-order right now as well.
That's right. That's right. So see that? Chat voices matter.
Chat voices matter.
Peer pressure works.
Every time you show up to Eric's live stream, you're like, "Where's the dirty deeds?" He's like, "I guess I gotta do it." So that's why every time somebody's like, when are we going to get it? It's like, you have to go to the live stream and you have to talk to Eric there.
You just have to bully private business owners to get what you want.
Yep.
That's all it boils down to.
Yes, just like the horseman helmet. Like, we all have to come together to get this horseman helmet, okay? I don't care if we work it. I don't care if it's a limited thing. We have to make it happen. All right.
Is that something that's actually been happening? I've been on the outs a little bit in terms of the fandom discussions and wish lists and stuff.
Oh, no, so like what
is
happened?
That really a thing that people
that is a thing that we have been asking for, because at one point somebody was like, hey man, like what if we had a horseman helmet? And like I was in the chat, I was like, I would love a horseman helmet. And so then it was like hashtag horseman helmet, and Eric was like, fake news, we're not doing a helmet. It was like, but we are. And so like every time he has a stream, we're always like, where's the helmet at, my man? Like, where's the horseman helmet? Like, put up in Rippaverse. Like, let's go, let's fund this helmet.
So everybody go to what's his private channel? Young Rippa, I think, right?
Young Rippa 59.
Yeah. So everybody go to Young Rippa 59, and when Eric is live, all you do is get in the chat and say horseman helmet now. That's it.
Yeah, horseman helmet.
HHN.
Yep. Hashtag it. He'll be like, Carrow sent you, and I'll be like, what are you talking about? I just showed up.
And then since you said he was like fake news, it would have been even funnier if he tried to debunk it. And as much as he doesn't like the man, if he just went, that's fake news, no horseman helmet.
I mean,
and I think it would have been even funnier because of his stance.
He'll make fun of any president. He doesn't care.
Oh yeah, no, of course, but like just given, because I mean it's no secret like kind of where he stands on all that. I just think it would have been hilarious if he took that and then just tried to do the Trump voice anyway and just call it fake news. That would have been even funnier. Considering where he
I would pay a
stands
lot
on
of money
things.
for him to do a Trump impression. It's true.
I mean, hey, you know what? Try and sneak me onto a Rippa live, a Rippaverse live that he's hosting with y'all, and I'll get him to do it.
I remember we used to have.
I'll get him to do it.
This was like a long time ago, but Eric used to have like the call-in line, right, where you could call in, right, and you would be on the live stream. He did that like a few times. We had some fun results.
Oh, I'm sure.
But he hasn't done it since then. I don't think he's gonna do it again. But if that ever happens, if that discussion ever happens, I'll be like, so there's this guy that I know. We can just go ahead and put him in the top 5. Like, let's just do that.
I mean, either that or peer pressure him to get on here, and I'll sneak it in, and we'll get the chat to peer pressure him here. I don't.
Yes.
But
Yes.
Anyway.
Combined bullying. That's what it is.
Yes. So, but yeah, that was the last time that you and I had, well, at least verbally spoken. Was right after Ripazine 3 was going out to people, and it was about, I think, a month or two before Dirty Deeds 1 was officially announced. So, since then, what have you been up to? As the stream title entails, you definitely have not stopped writing.
I have not, no.
But you've been writing all sorts of stuff.
I have done lots of things. I have written a couple of different books. So, I wrote Ripazine 1. I wrote, not Ripazine 1, oh my goodness. I wrote Dirty Deeds 1. I wrote Dirty Deeds 2. Yeah, well, I mean, I did write some articles in Ripazine 1, I'm not gonna lie. But so, Dirty Deeds 1, Dirty Deeds 2, I wrote Fontano Exclave. I wrote Sursa Exclave. I wrote Twin Tricks. I wrote Yaira Frost and Ruin. I wrote 3 children's books. One is called It's Fine Moms, and the other one is called Yaira's First Flight. The other one I can't talk about yet. And then, let's see, what else did I do?
I knew about the one. I didn't know there were 2 others under your belt for the children's book.
Oh, no. Yeah, no, Eric was just kind of like, you used to teach, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, what grade levels? And I was like, I tell about these. And he's like, what about kid books? And I was like, I could write a kid book. And he was like, give me ideas. So I slapped him with like 20 children book ideas, and he picked like 3, and he's like, write those. So I wrote them and sent them, and they're in the works right now. So you can find them on Amazon right now. So the It's Fine Moms, that one's mine, and then Yaira's First Flight, that one's mine as well.
And then also you've gotten involved with that Park Place, so you've been writing articles a lot too. I've been seeing also both on your X page, but also you've been getting involved in writing articles with that Park Place as well. Kind of how did that come about?
What happened was, so long story short, Kara had some health issues, so she had to resign from her position, and she ended up getting a spot over at that Park Place, and at one point that Park Place was like, do you know any females that would be willing to come onto the show? And she's like, I know a couple. right? And so they brought me on to do. It was right before MegaCon, and they were like, "Hey, like, not to be weird, but this is gonna be like a 4-hour stream. Are you okay with that?" I was like, "Yeah, sure. Like, whatever you want to talk about, I don't care, right?" And so, what ended up happening is their chat ended up liking me enough where they were like, "When does she come back?" And so, like, at the MegaCon, they're like, "So you actually have to come back. Like, the chat's like has threatened us if you don't come back." And so now I come back every Tuesday. But I was talking to Marv, who's one of the editors in chief over at that park place, and he's like, "Do you write articles too?" And I was like, "I happen to write a lot of articles because I was either writing articles for the Rippaverse website, or I was writing them for Substack, or I was writing them for X or whatever." But I told him, I was like, "I don't really do movie reviews, right?"
Oh,
Like,
articles, you say?
yeah, I write a lot of articles. And so usually what will happen is we get a film that will come out, and he'll be like, "Would you be willing to go and watch this film?" Because I do have to pay for it. Hi, Brimstone. I do have to pay for it, right? To go watch it and then write my own thoughts about it. So, like, the last few that I've seen, I went and watched Supergirl, and then I watched T-Man. I have not seen Sheep Detective yet, but I think I have to actually watch a good film and show people who come to that park place that I actually do like films, because, like, my last few reviews have been, like, absolutely abysmal. So...
I will say we the wife and I and the kids, we watched Sheep Detectives just the other day, and it was quite honestly one of the best
It seems
all around
delightful.
movies in the last like 5 years that I've
Yeah,
seen.
it seems delightful. Like, I need to watch it. Like, I need a palate cleanser after, like, these last 3 films I had to watch. So, yeah.
And it's kind of exactly that. It's a good palate cleanser for just, I guess, like movies and entertainment, and from the world itself as a whole. It's like it's like a very fun kind of, like, not too deep, but not completely tongue in cheek, lighthearted either.
It
But it's like a
reminds me
nice
of Babe.
yeah, it's like a nice in between type of family film, but murder mystery involved in there as well. So it was really good. It was a lot of fun. I'm probably gonna write a review on Criticless. I haven't done that since I think Jurassic World. No, since Superman. um, so it's been a while. I need to get back to start rating reviews on there too. But no, Sheep Detectives was overall a solid movie. So definitely, if you got some kiddos, of either whether it's your own or nieces or nephews or even just the neighborhood kids, like, make a movie night out of it. It's a solid, just all around film for everybody.
Excellent. Yeah, okay, I need to watch it then. I'll be like, "I'm late to the party, but here's proof I like films."
Yeah. Well, and also just Hugh Jackman. So.
Well, he's only in it for, like, the first bit, right?
Um.
Okay, don't spoil it.
No. He's predominantly in it for, I think it was like maybe the first 25 minutes or so, and then they kind of sprinkle him in a little bit throughout the rest of it. Like, he's obviously the main draw. He's the big name in there, but the sheep are the main characters.
Of course.
Yeah. But no, I mean, but for the little bit that he is in it, he does a great job. Let's see. Yeah, I'll get to chat as we continue on, guys. But so you've been writing articles for that park place. You got involved with them. You're part of the WDW Pro.
Yeah.
A panel and rotation of people. But you mentioned you tapped on something really important, which was you've been writing more comics.
I have.
And since we last talked, as we said a little bit ago, this has since come out. Dirty Deeds #1.
Yay!
I was able to. I got my hands on it. When did mine come in? I think it was like 2-3 weeks ago.
Did you read it though?
I have read it.
Okay.
I have read it, and then I read it again today to keep it fresh in my mind. But I've been getting behind on, like, doing reviews and stuff. I've done a couple here and there since I came back to doing the channel earlier in the year. I'm not going to be streaming as much moving forward now, so because I'm going to have more time to just collect my thoughts on things I've been reading. But, guys, if you liked Dirty Deeds, the preview, and Ripazine #3, you're going to like this. I will say, and this was a good choice in my opinion, it's not as action-packed as this was. Because this, you only had 16 pages to work with, you had to get people hooked. There is action in this still, but it tells, like, a really interesting story in between the action. And it's a nice little, I guess, palate cleanser from a lot of the other action stuff that we've been getting, both from Rippaverse and from other indie stuff that's been out there that people have been reading. But I
Oh,
like the direction that this is going in. You've made some interesting choices.
thank you.
Do you want to talk maybe a little bit about the story of it at least, without maybe giving too much away? Give people
Yeah,
something to
yeah.
look
So
forward to.
yeah, so we have a space ragtag group of outlaws who will take pretty much any job that they need to, but unfortunately, they've taken some jobs that are a little too hot, and now people don't want to work with them. And so, while trying to figure out what to do, they're flying out in space, and a wormhole opens up, and a NASA spaceship comes out, and they find three lost humans on there. And they're kind of like, well, we happen to just know a person that lives on your planet, so maybe we'll just go and bunk there for a while. And so what happens is they're kind of like, okay, we're going to go to the planet. They don't actually quite make it to the planet, guys, but the quest is to get the lost humans back home. That's what they want to do.
There it is. Human ship.
Human.
Huma. And just since we mentioned it and I have it open, I do find it interesting that you have them kind of as like scavengers, and that's kind of how they're making the ends meet. They're just kind of space scavengers. So I definitely am digging that part in terms of, instead of being like because when we talked last year, you mentioned specifically, and I mean, it's there. Like, there's definitely a little bit of a Guardians of the Galaxy influence there, but I like how it wasn't like the Guardians of the Galaxy in terms of they were just kind of falling into shenanigans, but also taking on jobs and stuff. It's more, these guys are just trying to scratch by. They're just going to work. That's all they're trying to do.
Yeah, we need to make.
They're not taking on adventures purposely. They're just
Yeah,
trying to.
Yeah, we need to make enough to buy food. We need to buy enough to buy water. We need to not buy enough to get air filters because we have to go from here to over there. And space is very big. It's huge, guys. It's huge.
With the objective being, let's not die.
Yeah, let's not die. It's like we happen to all be wanted by the law. Maybe we can't, like, do things. But of course, like, they're always kind of like, let's do this thing that causes a giant explosion.
But and Evan Scale, who did the art on this, did he also do the colors? Evan.
He did, yeah. So that was a fun story because originally Evan wasn't going to do the colors, but what happened is the person that we had that was supposed to do the colors had to back out for another thing. Eric was like, "What do we do?" And I was like, "Get Evan to do it, okay? Because Evan can color his own stuff." And so he was like, "Fine, right?" And so we brought Evan on, and he colored everything.
I was just trying to find, because Brimstone in the chat mentioned the wedding scene, so I figured just pull up the beginning of that sequence. So I liked the wedding scene a lot. It was
Me too.
It was, well, I mean, and also that's where we get the chunk of the action in this particular issue. But like I said, guys, it's not just about the action in this one. We get a story. We get to know more about the characters as well, a little bit, a little more of what kind of drives a couple of them, a little more background on a few of them. And so we ended up finishing this with they're going on their way into a
They're in the
space
queue.
battle. They're in a queue of and about to start an epic space battle. I don't think that's too much of a secret given the primary cover for issue number 2.
Yeah.
But that's where it leaves off. But there's a bunch of good story in between. I will go more in depth and in detail on it whenever I get around to doing a review, which I may even just at work tomorrow take out my phone and just start recording my random thoughts. I might just do that. But yes, Ripazine, or not Ripazine, holy crap. From Ripazine number 3 to Dirty Deeds number 1, go pick up Dirty Deeds number 1, and then Carrow. We're going to switch on over to the screen share here.
Oh, screen share.
Yeah,
Oh.
I always have my screen share ready.
Oh.
We got Dirty Deeds number 1 here. Now, I don't believe all of these covers are still available.
Just D. So. Yeah, just Evans, or not Evans, Igor's cover's the only one that's left right now. I mean, we have a couple that we'll take to, like, probably Dallas Fan Expo if anybody is a collector like that. But, yeah, that's the only one that's left right now.
And also, just word to the wise, I don't know if you heard from when I had Igor on, I think it was about a month and a half ago, don't leave him unsupervised around chairs. He will steal them all and pile them into a corner all by himself.
He will.
If you want to understand the joke, you need to go back and check out Talkin Shop episode with Igor Teixeira. You'll find out what it means. Because for anybody that doesn't know, Igor's Brazilian. English is not his first language. So he was trying to turn a phrase regarding taking a seat, and instead of saying actually taking a seat, it came off across the lines of like taking seats or taking chairs or something like that.
That's
So
wonderful.
we
I
we
love
just
that.
ran with that. So now there's new Igor lore that he just steals chairs
You know, he taught
wherever
me
he
this.
goes.
He taught me this a really amazing Brazilian phrase where it was like, "I know I'm raining on wet soil," and I was like, "Wait, what does that mean?" Right?
That's
And so
interesting.
like, so the English equivalent is beating a dead horse. So in Brazil, they say, "I know I'm raining on wet soil." So it's like I'm doing, I'm being repetitive, and I was like,
Okay.
I'm gonna use that somehow. I don't know
Yeah,
how, but I'm gonna use it. But
that's
yeah,
yeah, that's an interesting one. About raining on wet soil. My
yeah.
brain did not go to beating a dead horse though,
Yeah. Well, he
because I mean,
explained it to me, but I really liked working with Igor because Igor and I did Smuggler Stitch together.
yup, it read
And
my mind. Because there we
yeah,
go.
yeah. And so I was so this whole thing started because Igor was like, "I'm not really a big fan of sci-fi," and I was like, "You're not?" And he was like, "No, I don't find it very interesting." And I was like, "Oh man, it's time to change your mind, right?"
Yup, yup. He and I talked a little bit about that too, and I was like, well, do your feelings have your feelings changed? And he was a little coy about it, but I think he was coming around to the genre a little bit. He was like, well, considering I got to work on it, I'm definitely more in favor of it than I was before. I was like, okay, but now we need to get you to just watch all the sci-fi stuff.
You have to make it something that's interesting because I know when it comes to sci-fi, it's usually like, oh, look, it's monsters in space and terminology. But
Yeah,
Igor's a guy that likes action and plot, so we have to find him the sci-fi that's action and plot. Like I think he'd like Stormship Troopers.
I
I
think
think
he would. I
yeah,
think he would also like, even though it's not necessarily space centric, it is a sci-fi title. I think he would like the Atom Project with Ryan Reynolds.
I think you're right. Yeah, I think he
I
would
think
like
he
that.
would get a kick out of that. But no, you got Smuggler Stitch coming up. Is that the no? Yes, that is the next book that you have coming up. I believe that you've written, correct?
Yes, yes, that's actually
So,
right before my anniversary. Great time.
oh well, happy early anniversary.
Thank you.
Um, and I know that things have been kind of crazy over there with the Hatchet announcement from a month or two ago.
Actually,
Uh,
that is my anniversary. Sorry, I'm looking at that is
no,
literally
you're
my
good. You're
anniversary.
good. Um, well, then happy anniversary. Your
Thank
book
you.
is getting out. Your next book is getting out to
My
people.
gift, yeah, my gift to myself is my book coming out.
Your gift to yourself is people buying your book.
Yes, I hope you like it. Igor worked really hard on it. He really did.
Yeah, we went over some of his pencils and then some of the inked pages, minus the color and just Igor is just. I asked him. I was like, dude, like, why are you just telling other people how to fix their art? Why aren't you just doing it yourself, man? He's like, I'm so busy, and this is the responsibility. He was like being real polite about it. He's like, this is the responsibility that I have, and I would
This
like
is
to
my
do more,
job.
but I like doing my job, and this is the job that I have. And I'm like, no, that's not the answer I want. The answer I want is, yeah, I need to go tell Eric I need more art to make on
Yes.
top of my responsibilities because I'm an adult.
Well, I know I have two more Cedric projects that haven't been greenlit yet, but I've got two
Uh-oh.
more. I've got two more that aren't greenlit. So
So I do have to ask, with Smuggler Stitch, whose idea was it to do uh, a Cedric centric story? That
me,
was a tongue twister.
that was absolutely
So,
me. Yeah.
so where did that come from then? What kind of gave you the idea of like, hey, Cedric needs his own deal?
Oh man, it was I literally reading ISO number one like way back like when Eric had sent so way back before Rippaverse had been like fully formed. It was still a twinkle in Eric's eye, and like, it was something he was gonna do. He had sent me the script for ISO one, and I had read it, and I had gotten to the part with Cedric, and I was like, "This is a dude." Yeah, that's always why when I say this is a dude, that means this is somebody that's important, right? And I
Yeah,
was like,
I get what you meant. I could tell with
"Yeah,
the inflections.
yeah." I was like, "This
Not,
is
hey, dude, like you're a dude.
You're a dude. Yeah, this is a dude, man. And some of the things that kind of gave it away. There were two things in Isom one. It was when he talked about the two materials that aren't found on Earth, and then there was the asterisk when Isom says like, "That's quite the memory you have on you," and the asterisk was a story for another time. And I was like, where's the story, Eric? Where is it?
Yeah, like okay, don't just say that. Like, give it to me.
Yeah.
Like, let's hear it. We're all covered by NDAs. Tell us.
Yeah, and then of course Eric did the one animation where he was having the talk from Cedric, and Cedric was like, time is a gift, how are you going to use it? And so after I did Rippaverse #3, I was originally I was just kind of like the assistant editor in chief, and I was just like taking notes and like listening to writers figure out what they wanted to do. And so in that meeting, Eric was like, Carrow, technically you're a writer right now, so what do you want to work on? And I was like, can I do Cedric in space? And he was like, yeah, you can. And I was like, I'm gonna do Cedric in space.
Yeah, we're gonna do. Okay,
I'm gonna do that.
Thank you. We're gonna
Yeah.
do that. Not
Yeah.
not that I was really asking. It was more just out of respect. But we're gonna do that.
But so like I wrote the outline for what I wanted to do with young Cedric, because one of the misunderstandings I had with the Saska twins was they're like, well, this isn't what's happening right now. It's like, I know, because it's happening 15 years ago. Like, this is before. And so I had to reiterate that. But Eric cleared me for a couple of things, and there was there's one thing in there that when you guys read it, I definitely want to talk to anybody who wants to invite me onto a stream about. But there was one thing where I was like, Eric, I'm going to do this thing in this book, and I want to make sure that you don't care about it, right? Like, did you have a story for it? Did you have a plan for it? Like, can I just like throw this in here? And he was like, no, I didn't have any plans. You can do what you want. And I was like, oh,
there you go. That's the ultimate green light right there. Just go crazy, go wild.
Yeah.
You are so. How does it feel to essentially be developing the backstory of other characters? Because what's kind of that? I guess I am sure there's a sense of responsibility, a weight of responsibility that comes with that, because it's not your own original character.
Mm-hmm.
But so what was kind of your approach when you're like, hey, yes, I have the green light to do whatever I want, but where did you find that line in terms of I'm basically developing the backstory and the history of this character that somebody else created in a different title several years ago?
Yeah, no. So obviously this is Eric's character. It's his creation, and he had a vision for the character. And even though I might have my ideas, I still have to make sure that it matches whatever it is that Eric wanted in there, right? Which is why I originally did the outline, and I was kind of like, I just need you to approve the outline. If you approve the outline, we're good. And one of the things that I did do is that even though Cedric doesn't have lots of panels, right? He's got a handful of panels, and he's got the one animation. I made a point to go through those repeatedly, and then I would also listen to the voice of the animation, because Eric worked really closely with that voice actor for that part. So that way I could make sure that character stayed on brand as much as possible. Now, I did take a couple of deviations, but Eric okayed those because for what Cedric was doing with his business, it made sense for that, right?
Yeah.
And then one of the things that I am going to say is that Cedric is still a business guy, right? He's still a business guy. He still wants to do work. So when you get to certain choices he makes, don't be surprised.
For sure. Yeah. For sure. First and foremost, shrewd businessman. I mean, I've when I first read the little bit that we got of Cedric, my immediate reaction was, okay, this is basically just black male Edna mode from The Incredibles. Mm-hmm. And is very shrewd, very fashion forward, but then the side of Edna that we never really got is he's very business oriented, very business first, as opposed to Edna mode is fashion over function, but then function equivalent to fashion. Cedric is just okay, money.
Yeah. Well, because it's
money, down payment, then I get you functional, fashionable suits.
Yeah, I know, because it's he wants to be the best for what he does. He wants to provide quality. He wants to provide the experience. He wants to make sure that when people show up, they're happy, because the only person who's ever returned a suit was Avery, right? So he's never had anybody return anything that he's ever done. So everything that he's done has been absolutely top notch. So we have to hold on to that, right? But the one thing that I wanted to fiddle with a little bit is his intelligence.
Okay.
Right. I wanted to fiddle a little bit more with his intelligence, because I do work with some very cutthroat business savvy people, right?
For sure.
And so I'm not trying to say that Cedric is a cutthroat business savvy person quite like that, but the way that they go about addressing and going through problems is completely different than how an employee would do it. So here's a great example.
Absolutely.
Here's a great example. During a work week on Friday, what does an employee think about the weekend?
Thank God it's here.
Thank God it's here. An owner of a company because I'm not making money this weekend because we're not open, right? So it's two different mindsets. So it was playing with those mindsets.
And then just Livid Pigeon real quick, a chat that matters in the chat comment. Are you saying canon matters?
It does, at least to me. It does to me. It does to me.
But, and then also just real quick, I did, as part of a tradition, I did not do a new tradition of mine, where I especially congratulate and welcome the first person in the chat of each of the platforms. So, Caffeinated Wolf, aka Andy Andrew, aka bullied by Carrow. Thank you for being the first chatter over on the YouTube side. So this one is for you real quick, even though you got your own stream going on.
And there was much rejoicing.
Because I always feel bad when I forget to do this, because there's been a couple times I forget to do this, and one or two people have been like, where's my video? I'm the first here.
Where's my video?
Yep. And then, was it DT Dub? No, it was actually the Tempest Kingdom, my buddy Hanayama-san. He's first over on Rumble real quick. So where is my Rumble one? Here it is. This one's for you, Hana. So thank you, especially to those two guys, but thank you to everybody for being in the chats, hanging out, all that good stuff. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe. And there's Marcos.
Hello, Marco.
Marcos Rios. What's going on, man? Marcos, XDMs are broken as hell. So when we're done, I'm going to ask Carrow if we're to send the carrier pigeon to get a hold of you. So, because I think carrier pigeon's the best way to get a hold of you at this point. But good to see you, Marcos. How are you, brother? Everybody filtering in. What's up? What's up? Orp. Livid Pigeon says Eric runs his company like he runs his life. Ballin'. Hell yeah. But so we go from Smuggler Stitch, and I'm definitely a big proponent of aliens and sci-fi, and like essentially it seems like there's more or less kind of like a bounty hunter, a space bounty hunter type of deal going on with this. But you've been writing some other stuff too. So Yaira Frost and Ruin.
Yeah.
Now the Saskas were writing the original 3 books for Yaira. If you're allowed to say, what kind of went into... I mean, everybody knows they've been busy with a bunch of other stuff as well. Is that what really led to you kind of taking over and starting this new story arc for Yaira? Or kind of what went into that decision of what you're allowed to say? And then what kind of conversations did you have with Jen and Sylv to, if any, to kind of figure out what the next step was for Yaira and how to proceed with again, writing for an established character, trying to make sure you're doing it respectfully, but also writing a story that you want to tell.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you. We have a phrase over at work. It's called Eric sometimes be doing shit, right? And so what happened was Eric pulled me into a meeting, and he was like, I want to do a Yaira comic. And I was like, with what time? Like, you have no time. Like, you literally, you just had a baby. You just did this thing with the hatchet. Like, when do you have time to do this? And he was, like, looking at me for a minute. I was like, oh, okay, I understand, right? And so what happened is this is a story that Eric wanted to tell, but he didn't have a lot of time to tell it. And so what I did was I wrote the outline for it. He greenlit it. And then, well, when I say I wrote the outline, it was like a back and forth thing. So there were things that I had proposed, he had tweaked, because at the end of the day, I know the Saskas write Yaira, but Yaira belongs to Eric.
No,
Right.
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Yaira belongs to Eric. They wrote 3 whole books of the characters, so that's why I was kind of asking, like, yes, it's Eric's character, but they definitely, and also, they are described as Rippaverse lore masters as well.
Yeah.
So, like, that's kind of why I was curious in terms of, like, what kind of conversations, if any, you had with them specifically. But yeah, of course, you want to pick Eric's brain as well, because, I mean, a lot of these characters are his babies, so if anybody's going to know about them the most, it's going to be him.
No, I mean, I kind of had a slight cheat guide involved because, I mean, first off, I had access to Eric, who's like the original vision and everything that he wanted Yaira to be and what he wanted to do with her. But then I also had the advantage of the fact that the Saskas had already turned in the next 2 scripts, right? So, so I was like, I don't even have to bother them. I just have to make sure that whatever I do here doesn't affect what they're doing over there, and that's pretty much what I did.
Fair enough.
And I didn't
Because
want
this
to.
does take place after Yaira number 3, correct?
Yeah, so it's like almost right after Yaira 3, the story takes place, and then after that. So originally, before Exclave happened, this story was supposed to happen, and then we were supposed to have Yaira 4 and 5. And then what ended up happening is Exclave has occurred, and so we're gonna go through the Exclave event, and then after that, I can't tell you what's gonna happen. I know we have 4 and 5 scripts on file.
Gotcha.
Yeah, so how those probably might be adapted, it really depends on how Exclave goes down. So my notes for Exclave are only kind of like narrowed down to like my section of Exclave. So I only have notes for what affects Fontana and what affects Saoirse, right? And so when I was writing stuff that was involving them, I was like, I'm gonna just keep this as like isolated as possible because I have no idea what's going on in any of these other places, and I don't want to write something that's gonna like fudge up everything.
Well, that is kind of interesting that like you're not allowed to know what's going on in the other Exclave titles, because with it which is not necessarily a bad thing. If anything, it's gonna make for probably some interesting continuity moving forward to see the decisions that other people writing the Exclave titles have decided to take compared to the decisions you're making yourself for the ones that you're writing. So like that's kind of it. Like, did Eric kind of give a real reason in terms of why he's doing it? Is that kind of along the reasons in terms of why, like, maybe you guys aren't talking about Exclave together with each other and whatnot?
I know Chuck and the Saskas have talked for sure. I have not, just because, like, when I was going through my notes from Eric, he made it clear that he wanted to be as sectioned off as possible, and the justification for that was so that way if a new person came and read it, they don't have to read everything else, right?
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, they don't have to read everything else. They should be able to pick up Fontano 1, 2, and 3 and read the story of Fontano and not need to read, Fontano and then all of Yaira. I mean, there will be like little things that might lean into each other, but like when I was writing my scripts, I wanted to make sure that I wrote them in a way that did not cause complications for everybody else in what they were doing. That was my big goal. So,
Okay.
so I made sure that my stuff was not causing ripples anywhere else, and that it still went in the direction that Eric told me to take the story. So that's what I did.
Fantastic. And then also, just in case this is needed, just throw that up there too.
Yeah, but I do know that there were some conversations that were had between like Chuck and the Saskas, because I think they have something that's more intertwined going on. But for me, I was just like over here in my little writing cave going, yeah, I'm never gonna kill that guy. Yeah.
Just real quick. I know we're talking. And this stream is like 98% about you. I did just want to give a quick shout out to Chuck Dixon.
Chuck Dixon.
Well, he's a legend, obviously, in his own right, obviously. And then also Alpha Core, Horseman, his entire career leading up till now. But also, out of Compass Comics, owner is Graham Nolan, legend in his own right as well, co-creator of the character of Bane, and worked at DC alongside Chuck and everything. Giant Size Two-Fisted Manly Tales #2, which was written by Chuck, and then the late great Butch Geist did the art as well. And it's a very very interesting story so far. I'm about, if I had to guess, I'd say probably about a quarter to a third way through it, and it's basically a tale of, and Chuck did a whole bunch of research of like kind of what the contingency plans were in World War II on both the American and the Japanese side. For if like a land assault were to ever happen or anything like that. So basically, this is like if the Manhattan Project didn't work out, how World War II between in the Pacific Theater would potentially have played out.
There's a wonderful game. It's called Bolt Action, where you can actually like reenact that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So Bolt Action is basically a war strategy game. I used to play it on the weekends with one of my friends, and at one point, like, I made a Japanese army. And one of the scenarios that you could have done is like if Japan made it to America, and I was like, I'm gonna kill all of you.
Oh,
yeah.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. No. Well. In this tale, it's the other way around. But yeah, I mean, more or less.
Well, I didn't make it far.
It's kind of going that way.
Yeah. No, I did not make it far, because that phrase of like, "There's a gun behind every blade of grass." Like, yeah, that came in me pretty quickly.
But no, just real quick, since you mentioned Chuck, I just wanted to shout him out. This just got fulfilled. It was running on, I think, Fund My Comic and Indiegogo. So Graham Nolan's been shipping these out to everybody. But Chuck wrote the story. The late great Butch Geist did the art on the inside. So just go check it out when you get a chance. Now back to Rippaverse.
No, you should always plug Chuck. I love Chuck. Anytime
Oh,
to
for
plug
sure.
Chuck, we should do it.
Yeah, well, and that's exactly. I figured you would be okay with that. That's why I just wanted to bring that up since I knew his name was going to come up. I just knew it. So, but so we got Yaira, and then we've got.
But yeah, for Yaira Frost and Ruin was completely Eric's vision, and all I did was just basically write the script to give to Will Conrad. And those pages are hot, by the way. They're absolutely hot.
Are they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're like early 2000s Paris Hilton hot. Like that. That's so hot.
No, I mean, like, these are, like, comic hot. Like, I was, like, watching him, like, turn these pages in, and I was like...
Okay.
I was like, I don't even need to put dialogue on here. Like, can we just skip the dialogue and just leave the art? And they're like, no, you wrote the dialogue. I know I wrote it, but we don't need it.
Oh, well, honestly, I would be really curious to see you guys do a book like that. I just don't know what character or characters would maybe be best for that.
There is something in the works for that. I will tell you that much.
Yeah, because I know Mike S. Miller through Rippaverse has Afar, which
That's so good.
Which is hopefully going to be coming out in a little bit here. Excuse me. But also the reason why I said is because I recently found in the wild at a comic shop, Tom McFarlane and Greg Capullo came together and did a Batman Spawn, where it's all just pencils and inks, no color, and no text at all, and the art tells the story. I thought that was really cool.
That's how it's supposed to be. Like, every time I talk to somebody who's starting to get into writing comics, they're like, what's one thing I need to know? I was like, it is a visual medium. You need to let your artist show the story, and then you accent it with dialogue. And the reason I say that is because I run into so many writers that have, like, that they're insecure, so then they dominate the page with dialogue. Like, you didn't need it. Your artist already had it in there. It's okay.
Oh, absolutely. The artist is just as much of a storyteller as the writer is.
Mm-hmm.
Like this, if I ever were to, God forbid, try my hand at writing something, I know 100% I would need to lean on whoever would be willing to deal with me to be the artist for if I ever were to create something myself.
One day you will. One day.
We'll see. I'm more of an idea guy. I've told this to Andrew in the past too. Like, I'm definitely more of an idea guy when it comes to putting the thoughts to paper. Like, I don't really know where to begin. So maybe one day with the right, maybe like mentoring or coaching or something. But it's never that's a I got an 11-hour a day job I need to focus on first. So, but Marco said, yeah, it was supposed to happen in that order, but then Eric said, so exclave. Yeah, that did kind of come out of nowhere. Nobody was expecting that whatsoever. Well, I'm sure you guys weren't either. But
no, well, everybody makes it seem like it came out of nowhere, but I know twinkles in Eric's eye when I see them. So I think exclave had been something he had been thinking about for a while. Okay. He just hadn't moved forward with it because it was one of those things. I remember because I was telling Andrew one day, I was like, he's thinking about something. It's like, what is he thinking about? I was like, I don't know. But he's thinking about something. So don't be surprised if in 2 weeks we get like an email for whatever it is he's thinking about. And then we got the email for exclave. Yeah, I was like, okay, so we got the email for exclave. That's what I saw. That's what I saw in his eye.
Well, and when I read I Saw Him Too for the first time, and I saw like those creatures appear, and then like after I Saw Him and then Bloodruth and Gooding and all kind of went away and everything, and then there was the in the final pages there was this like larger boss monster. I was like, okay, well, that's it. Like,
don't worry, more is coming. He has a plan for that.
Yeah. Well, and then here we go. And then when I saw that creature was on the cover, I was like, oh, there it is. Yeah. Now I get to get more of my scary demonic creature. Yay. And then Marcus said, that's actually a great idea. Braxwell would work for the whole art with no dialogue type of book. He's quiet, so a no dialogue comic would work. Yeah, absolutely. But we're gonna shift gears from Yaira Frost and Ruin to something else you've been working on, and that is currently in the process of getting the production it needs and getting the funds that it needs and everything through Rippaverse. Tales from Twisted Ravens. Yeah. So why don't you go on into this? And because obviously it's tied to a fantastic cause. Oh, excuse me. Tied to a fantastic cause But why don't you tell a little bit about the story first, and then we can go into more of kind of what is driving this this project.
Yeah,
After.
absolutely. Yeah, so Tales of Twisted Raven is kind of it's a monkey paw story, if you guys are familiar with that story, in regards to when children find themselves in a wishing store and they make a wish, but the wish doesn't happen quite like they think it does. So with Anne, she gets into a fight with her best friend, and when she goes into the wishing store, she wishes that her best friend would forget the fight. But what happens is when her friend basically forgets who she is, right? And so you get to follow the story and those course of events. And that's kind of what the wishing store in the story is, the Twin Raven oddity store. And what I wanted to do, because there's 4 of these that I want to do. I have another one in the works right now. It's called Tales from Twisted Ravens Kevin right now. And yeah, and that one is following the story of a boy after he loses his grandma, and he makes the wish that she would come back, right?
Oh.
So you kind of follow that. My artist is almost done with that. She wants to take a break from Twisted Ravens after that, and she wants to do something else for a bit. And I'm like, you know what, whatever you want to do, right?
Same artist that worked on this first one too.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
And of course, like initially when I had talked about this, not with Rippaverse, but with people in general, they're like, isn't the story like kind of creepy? And I was like, I don't know if you know anything about kids, but like they are really drawn to like creepy stuff. Like they absolutely are. Like there was a reason Coraline did really well. Yeah.
Little comics kid number 2 is she's a little twisted.
Yeah.
The wife is very proud of her. She's a big fan of Jaws and a big fan of Jurassic Park, and her favorite part of both movies are when the people get eaten. So that kind of falls in line. So that tracks.
But it's also a good attention grabber, because sometimes when kids are growing up, they don't want to always stick with something that's safe. They want to like gravitate towards things that are new or things that will, catch their eye. And so that was kind of my aesthetic goal with this. My goal with this is to try and raise money for a charity. It's called Comic Books for Kids. And what Comic Books for Kids does is they bring comic books into hospitals and cancer centers where children are receiving treatment from. Now, I know on that one page it said 10K. The 10K is not just in sales, it's just 10K period.
Yeah.
Right? So if you go straight to the charity page and you donate like $5 or $10 or whatever, that will count for me. I haven't had an update from the charity to update that number, but but pretty much, I mean, this is evergreen as far as I'm concerned, because the end of the day, what I want to do is I just want to help kids in these tough times, right?
For sure, you want to give them that sense of escapism and that sense of just, hey, like, as down as things may be, like, here's just something to take your mind off of it, and even depending upon what kind of stories you're gonna tell with more titles in this series moving forward, like, no matter what, there's somebody there that loves you and will be there no matter what you're going through too.
Yeah.
So, which it sounds like that's kind of a little bit in terms of maybe what with Kevin, the second book, with his wish wanting to bring his grandmother back. It kind of sounds like that's kind of where a little bit of that story might be going, just from that little bit
because sometimes like adults are kind of weird to talk about children about certain topics, and
sure,
bereavement is a topic that I think kids are okay to explore. Like there's this beautiful book I have here. Let me find it real quick.
Yeah, not a problem.
Let me find it. Excuse my background.
No, we're all just looking at the puppers.
Yeah, I got plenty of them. There's this beautiful.
Hi, puppers.
There's this beautiful book that Kanan White's daughter did, right?
Let me pull it up on the.
Yeah, I think my computer might be reversed, but it's called A Piece of You, and it's a story about like this girl when she's like going through the loss of one of her family members. And it comes at the cost of like her unraveling a sweater that was made. Like his daughter made this beautiful book, right? And when I was talking to him and the art is in here, like she illustrated it and everything.
Oh, she did?
Yeah,
oh,
she did
wow.
everything. His family's disgustingly talented.
I was gonna say, do you expect anything less from one of Kanan's kids?
Oh, it's so beautiful. Like if I was a teacher and I had a classroom or whatnot, like this would be a book in there.
Oh, for sure.
But he showed me this book, and by the way, if anybody wants it, Samara White, right? You can find it on Amazon. And so when I was like, well, what inspired her to do that? And he was like, well, people don't talk about bereavement with kids, and I was like, oh my God, he's right. Like we don't.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, for sure.
So mine's different than Samara's, but I definitely wanted to have bereavement be one of the stories, especially when we're talking about kids in hospitals and they're not sure what's going to happen and all of that. So
Yeah. Yeah, well, and I could say being a parent myself, that's something that, so my older one, she kind of got a little bit of a taste of the conversations like that, because what was it, when my grandmother passed away, I took it really really hard, and she was, what, I think five at the time. Yeah, 5 with 2020. She's, I got to remember how old my kid is and do math. Yeah, so she was like 5, so she was just starting at the point of life to like actually ask questions and like meaningful questions too. Sometimes. So like between that and then my mother-in-law had also passed away, I think the very next year. So she's kind of, we've had some of those conversations with her. Our younger one, she's 6 right now. The furthest we've kind of gotten with her is when she's had a couple of like cheap $5 fish from PetSmart die. So two completely
that's
different
too.
things. So
that's hard too. Let's be honest.
For sure. But like definitely books that cover the topic of bereavement, that are definitely geared towards like families and children and stuff are definitely helpful. Especially like, I mean, I have no problem necessarily talking to my younger one about it. It's just a matter of like, I'm the type of person where I'd rather talk about it from like a more organic perspective, organic sense, like not just randomly be like, oh, hey, like, yeah, this is what happens, and this is how you could process feelings when somebody's no longer alive. Like, that's Dad's tip of the day. Like, no, that's not how I want to cover that. So, but no, that's great that well, first, both good on Samara White, and then also that it's something that you want to be tackling with that next title. But this is just overall a great cause. Everybody go, which honestly I need to do my part as well. Go grab one of these, or if you don't, for whatever reason, you're crazy enough and you don't want to, at least head to comic books for kids and go even drop just a couple $1 donation over there, because
if you don't like me and you don't want the comic, like go give the money to them, right? The whole thing is to help these kids. Like the book selling is just a thing, because I know some people like to hold like an object and be like, I bought this to support kids, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I mean, I'll have like some extra copies that I'm gonna take, and pretty much like 100% of those proceeds go straight to the charity. Like absolutely, like there's.
And I know.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Oh, there's the Southeast Game Exchange that I'm going to go to. I'm gonna have like limited prints with me, and I'm going to give them to anybody who will give me a donation for comic books for kids. Like that's what I'm gonna do.
There you go.
So
and for anybody that for whatever reason, which I know there are people out there that don't like your boy ComixDad and want to do the opposite of what I say. In that case, don't donate and don't buy the book. You know, a little reverse psychology there. So you know, donate and buy the book.
It's for the kids in the hospitals. Come on,
for
guys.
the kids. It's for the kids. So shame on you if you like kids and want to do good things for them. No, just get reverse psychology. It works sometimes, you know, especially because the idiots out there on the internet, sometimes they can be tricked like children. So that's why we go the reverse psychology. But you also got some other stuff coming up. As you mentioned, you've got some of the X-Slave titles that you're involved in.
I was so excited for Fontano. You have no idea. Like Eric snuck that on me, and it was like Christmas, and I was like, I can't wait.
You know what? Yeah, we'll get into Fontano then real quick, because I'm trying to remember what I also had on the thumbnail, because I made the thumbnail I think like 2 months ago. Or like a month and a half ago when we were supposed to do this initially.
I have it right here. I'm looking right at it. So you have Jailbreak, you've got Twin Tricks, you've got Smuggler Stitch, you've got Dirty Deeds 2, you've got Frost and Ruin, and then you have Tales from Twisted Ravens.
Yes.
You don't have Fontano though, so that's why I was like,
no, because we were supposed to do this I think like a month ago or so,
and then it was sick.
You got sick. I also, I think, had something going on as well. And then, like, 2 weeks later, Fontano got announced, and I was like, crap. That means I got to change the thumbnail. All right, I'll eventually do it. And then, like, I just forgot to change it. So, but we'll jump into Fontano. Why not? Everybody's favorite gangster to hate from ISOM. What went into the decision to give Fontano his own title?
Eric just
asked.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
There was a spreadsheet and it had like the titles on it, and then he wrote writer, and then next to Fontano was my name, and I was like, really?
All right. So then, what was your approach on this then?
So I know like sometimes when like people like get like a villain, they're like, oh, I have to give him like an origin story that makes people
Yeah.
feel bad for him, and I was like, fuck that shit, fuck it, it's
Thank
Fontana.
you. Thank you. I am so sick and tired of villains trying to be trying to be humanized. Like that is one of the biggest problems, especially with the big two, both in their comics and also in their ass TV shows and like mid at best movies. Like I'm so tired of humanizing villains. Let villains be villains. Please.
Yeah, no, so he's a villain. He's a villain reacting to Exclave, right?
Okay.
And so that was my approach on it, and I added in another character just for the sake of having a foil. That's what we call them. So like a character that mirrors the character in an opposite way. So I have that in there, but it's Fontano just dealing with this how do we say this trespass into his territory. Right?
Gotcha.
That's how he sees it. So everybody's kind of like, oh no, he's gonna help people. It's like, no, he's gonna shoot some people in the face, man.
He's got to just live up to that bad boy reputation. That
Well,
crime lord reputation.
I had one person that was like kind of like, do you know anything about like when it comes to like crime with like black people? And I was like, I know a lot about crime. I don't need a primer. I'm good. I'm absolutely good.
Yeah. No, you just crime. That's it. That's all you need.
Well, because like I was in the military, right, and then I worked at a hospital next to the ER, so I saw all kinds of things come in, right?
Oh yeah.
And then right next to the ICU. So for anybody who doesn't know, everybody's always like, "Oh, the ICU is where people with heart conditions come in." It's like, no, that's also where the prisoners go to.
Yep, prisoners and the people they've stabbed as well. And
Yeah, and I had the pleasure of actually being friends with somebody who had been in the prison system for 10 years. And he told me some things about what happened in prisons where I was just like, wow, that's amazing. Right? So
fair enough. I mean, you can't even there's I'm sure there's all sorts of stuff that some people couldn't even imagine to happen behind those walls.
Oh, so. Yeah, like if they find not that it will surprise anybody, but if a group of prisoners find out that you like fiddled with some kids, it's over.
Oh,
it is
for good reason.
Yeah, like they have to keep those people in isolation for their own safety because they're not going to make it out.
No, put them in Gen Pop, and then anybody that does community service gets let out on good behavior. That's how I look at that.
Yeah, and then there was one guy who I talked to who was a counselor for boys that were in juvie, right?
Okay.
Yeah, and he used to, I mean, obviously there's confidential stuff, so he can't tell me why they're in there, but like some of the stuff that he would share, I would be like, man, they got a lot going on, and that was also, like, some of them are just evil. Like, take them to the Catholic priest and just have the holy water poured on them until the evil comes out.
Send Cindy Bloodruth.
Yes.
That's what you gotta do. You just gotta send the Bloodruths after those kids and expel the demons.
Yeah, but no, I had a lot of fun writing Fontano the way that I did because I didn't write him because some people are kind of like, oh, we're gonna make him do evil, so he's evil. No, he's evil with a method, right? So
for sure.
That's what I did with Fontano in this. I hope you guys like it. I have next week I'm writing Exclave 3 Fontano, so he'll be done, and then I'm going to move on to other things at that point.
Okay. So actually, you know what? That is a good question. So. Exclave 3 Fontano. So Fontano's getting, I guess, a trilogy in the Exclave event. If we could even call it an event, it seems like it's so much more than an event. So does that mean that other characters that have these Exclave titles as well? So
well, if I were to look at Amazon and the pre-orders that they have Exclaves up to 3 on there for multiple titles. Yeah.
Well, see, and that's like the nice thing with Hetchet is, and we could talk a little bit about that, but like, but that's the nice thing about the whole Hetchet deal is that like you guys are not going away from your own site and doing the pre-orders through there and everything like that, but also giving people the ability to pre-order elsewhere as well. Mm-hmm. Like. But I mean, me personally, I'm sticking with Rippaverse.com. That's all I'm doing. So I'm not looking at Amazon.
I mean, Amazon. The nice thing about Amazon is I know some people trust it more, but I will say at least on our website you can still get covers A through C on there, but they won't be available on Amazon. So that's it.
Yeah. So yeah, because it's only going to be the mass print covers that are going to be available through this mass distribution deal, I believe. Correct.
Yeah.
So, well, there you go, everybody. All the more reason to, maybe go support in like the big box stores and Amazon and everywhere else. You're gonna start seeing Rippaverse books over the next couple of months start to pop up. But Rippaverse.com if you want those exclusive covers, because the cover game is the cover game is real, ladies and gentlemen. I used to be one of those people that was like, no, just give me like a cover, maybe a one variant cover, and then we'll leave it alone at that. Like, there's a lot of good artists out there that do a lot of good stuff. So you know what?
Mm-hmm.
If it's the right title and if it's the right artists, give me all the damn covers.
I know, give them all.
Give me all.
Every one of them. Let's go. Yeah.
But yeah, so basically each one of these exclaves, they're all getting their own 3-part story. Then
that's
I guess.
If I'm going by what I see on Hushe, then that's what I'm seeing.
Okay.
I'm very curious about Santuan because I was I keep looking at Santuan, being like, Eric, what are you doing with Santuan? He won't respond to me, which is my way of being like, because I mean, it's none of my business because I made myself isolated, so I don't need to know what Santuan's doing. I'm just a nosy fuck and want to know what Santuan's doing.
There you go. I'll do Andrew's job for him since he's not here.
Yeah.
And then we have
I'm doing
Twin Tricks.
Oh, Twin Tricks is so good.
I did want to talk to you about Twin Tricks because I believe Twin Tricks loosely plays off of Norfolka because it takes place in that other realm that's established in Norfolka. I unfortunately haven't had the chance to read Norfolka yet. I got to pick and choose. Eventually, I'll get there and get all the number ones and start reading all the different stories. But I got to pick and choose. Norfolka's on that list. But with Twin Tricks, I guess quick little overview, and then I'll have a couple of follow-up questions.
Okay. So, Twin Tricks follows a pair of twins, right? And they were basically given this one job. It's like, look at this thing and make sure it doesn't go anywhere. And then naturally it went somewhere, right? But because they get into so much trouble, right? They're like,
as irresponsible boys are.
Yes, and of course, because they get into so much trouble as it is, they're like, we have to find it before they know that we lost it because we're already in enough trouble. And so they go chasing after this thing that they lost into like the human realm, and all kinds of hijinks happen. And I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but
course.
I had a lot of fun writing it. It started with me reaching out to Eric, being like, Eric, I think we need another kid book. And he's like, well, what are you thinking? And I was like, well, I was thinking about this. And he was like, go ahead and write it. And I was like,
there you go.
Yeah. So
another green light. You're on a roll with the green lights from Eric.
Well, I mean, it's, usually when I try and propose like an idea to Eric, it's not like, oh, I just have this passion project I just feel so strongly about. I'm like, I brought some data. So I did a survey, with a focus group with like all of our fanship, and they all say that they want this thing right here. And I happen to be really good at writing that, so I was wondering if I could just write that.
And then here's also on top of that my 2.5 hour 55 slide presentation as well, just in case you're still on the fence.
That won't work. No.
Okay.
Never do that to Eric. Like, you have like 5 minutes to get Eric's attention. So like, I'm not even gonna lie. So before we went live, I told ComixDad that I was gonna give him an exclusive. I got greenlit for another project. This is how I started it off. I want to make you a lot of money. Here's my idea. That was how I started it.
And real quick before you give the Andrew in the chat.
They're not. You take that back, Andrew. They are misunderstood. They are well-meaning boys. They are well-meaning boys.
Well, I think he's about to drop this on both of us with whatever you're going to share as an exclusive.
No. My boys are well-meaning. It's not their fault that the thing that they were looking for went missing. They were in the room doing their job when it went missing. It's not their fault.
Just because they happen to be napping or like, pushing each other around, or somebody pulling an RKO out of nowhere on the other, or just living out every boy's fantasy.
I see this slander, Andrew. I'm not an awful liar. I am not. Just because, before they were given this job that they were flying goats over the village or they're making people's clothes disappear, that has nothing to do with the fact that the relic disappeared. They are not relevant events.
So exclusive time. We've had our fun with Andrew. Oh, it must be a big one. Had to get the sip of the water.
Oh, the exclusive? No, so I with the thing. No, so if we're talking about that, no, I just basically pitched an idea to Eric, and I was like, I want to make you a lot of money. Here's my data. Here's my idea. Like, and then I had to wait 2 days because he has to think about it, right? And then he
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, you're greenlit," and I was like, "Ah."
There you go. The exclusive is the process of how to pitch to Eric.
Yes, that is.
There you go, ladies and gentlemen. You ever get a chance to DM or meet Eric in person? Carrow got 5 minutes. You'll probably get 30 seconds because it's probably going to be at a convention or something like that.
Yeah, you need to show him how it makes money. Absolutely, because that's what I did. That's what I did with Dirty Deeds. So I was like, so I did this survey with our reader base, and they all went sci-fi, and I happen to be really good at that. And so I came up with this comic. It's called Dirty Deeds. I also did the first 4 pages for you to review. Can I just go ahead and do this?
Oh man. And then I think part of the pitch for anybody that maybe tries to do a 30-second pitch. Where is it? I can find it now because I just thought of it. There we go.
I can't hear it. You're saying. No, it.
No,
See,
it didn't do it.
No, you're jamming out though, and I'm really into it.
It's Here Comes the Money. It's
Oh,
Shane
yeah.
McMahon's walkout song.
Oh yeah, that totally didn't play.
Damn it, microphone. Or damn it, studio, for like
Your noise
canceling out.
cancellation.
Yeah,
You're-
canceling out background noise with your AI and everything. You know what? It probably did me a favor for the YouTube side, so whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, like, so yeah. Tell Eric you want to make money. Start off with Here Comes the Money. And then he'll have your attention. You'll have his attention for 20 more
Yep.
seconds.
Yep. That's what matters, yeah.
ComixDad, Dad, I will call you later. Sorry, Dad, I'm busy. Now he's calling my iPad. Dad, stop.
He wants to talk to you.
No. No. I don't want to talk to my dad. I want to talk about spacefaring adventures and the dirty deeds.
Okay.
So let's talk about that instead.
Okay, let's go. What do you want to talk about?
So pretty much, where did my dirty deeds go now? I have
It's over
everything
there.
all over the place. Where'd it go?
It's over there.
Help!
I don't
Help.
think that. I think it's down, not up.
There it is.
See, I'm helping.
I knew it was your yeah, very much. You want to be my producer? My editor? I don't pay
No.
well. I'm just saying.
No.
Just letting you know right now.
No.
But yeah, Dirty Deeds #1, obviously. So we, as we mentioned earlier when we were talking about this, it's no big secret. On the cover, we've got, you can see in the little corner here, main cover is obviously some kind of a space fight, which is what they're gearing up towards at the end of Dirty Deeds #1. And so is it safe to assume that it's kind of continuing the story? Well, not kind of, is just directly continuing the story of these humans that they found in their pre-SpaceX style spaceship.
Yeah.
Because the SpaceX spaceship probably wouldn't have gotten lost at all.
No.
I'm just kidding. Those things are so damn smart, though. It's wild to see those take off sometimes. Like, it is insane. But so what do we got going on with Dirty Deeds #2? What can people look forward to with this one?
Well, we get to find out what happens after the giant space battle and where the crew is, and then how they basically have to get by. I will say at one point when I was talking to Evan, I was like, Evan, what do you like to draw? And he's like, I really like to draw monsters. And I was like, okay. Right. So so when you get to like a certain part and you're kind of like, why are all these monsters everywhere? I did it for Evan. Okay. Evan works very hard for me. And if he wants to draw monsters, he can spend the 4 pages drawing all these monsters.
If Eric wants monsters, Eric gets monsters.
That's what
Yes,
he said.
yes, Miss Carrow.
Yes. So Evan did all of that and he had a lot of fun, and it's kind of continuing the story. I'm actually really excited when you guys get to do Dirty Deeds 3. That's coming out sometime next year. I don't know when.
Okay.
But we get to explore like a different part of the world building then. But this one's fun because you get to meet a character that Felsier doesn't like, but everybody else is kind of like, this character seems okay. And Felsier's like, no, I hate this character. I hate them.
Does it happen to be somebody who's featured on one of the covers?
It might, yeah.
Might
yeah.
be. Okay, interesting. And actually, oh, you know what? I think I'm just now making a connection about the style of a certain character on this cover to a character that we've seen a little bit of for another upcoming title. And I'm going to leave it at that, and I'm going to let everybody else try and put 2 and 2 together, because I want to look smart for a change, guys. So
I appreciate that.
yeah. But
I don't want to put you in a hard place, but I have to be at another stream in 15 minutes, so.
no, you're good. We're coming up on near the end anyway. I just wanted to touch up on this. It's definitely a continuation. And then first ever Rippaverse novel,
Yeah.
Dirty Deeds Jailbreak. So what I hit the add the cart button. I didn't necessarily mean to do that, but it will be in my
It
cart.
was just a reflex. You're like, I have to add it.
You're not wrong. It absolutely 100% is a reflex. And okay, cool. It didn't show my shipping address. Fantastic. So Dirty Deeds Jailbreak, Dirty Deeds obviously being your brainchild, and I'm sure you have so much lore and stories you want to tell with it. This is going to be a prequel to what we've seen so far and what we will be seeing with the Dirty Deeds moving forward. Is that correct? Kind of like their origin story.
Yeah, so this is the story about how...
There we go. Origin story.
Yeah. Oh, your wife is here. Hello, wife.
Hi,
hope you're doing
Queenie.
well.
Hi.
But
Hi.
yeah, so this is the origin story of how the crew got together, and this answers a lot of questions that people keep trying to ask me in interviews. Like, well, I have a question about this. Like, I can't answer that. And it's like, well, what about this? I can't answer that either, right? And like,
It's here.
yeah,
Go buy this.
Yeah, and so it's gotten to a point where like in Discord, or when people ask me a question, like I could tell you, or you could just read Jailbreak and just find out the answer to everything. Like just go do that.
Just do that. Just read the books, guys. Stop wanting all the answers.
Yeah.
Just because she was a teacher, you know what? That actually should tell you that she was a teacher. She's not gonna help you cheat. She's not gonna want you to cheat. She wants you to read the material and study. There is gonna be a big test on all of this at the end of next year. You guys be ready.
Yeah, I will say though, because like some of the Discord had a joke being like, I can't read this. It's got no pictures. And I was like, I'll tell you what. Show me proof that you bought the book, and we'll have Carrow story time in Discord and the Rippaverse Discord, and I will just read the book all to you for however long it takes me to do it.
There we go.
Yeah.
Story time with Carrow. I like it. And then oh, there you go. Eric, money idea. Rippaverse audiobooks.
I've been trying. Yeah. No. Because what I want to do, in my perfect world, I want to do a co-narration with me and Caleb from Leylines, who did the theme song for Dirty Deeds.
Okay.
Because if you go to his channel, he does amazing voices, and I was kind of like, he needs to do it. Like, he and I just need to go into our own recording studios, and we just need to read, like, the book, and then let somebody do the editing. Like, that's what we need to do.
Well, if you're able to convince Eric of that, I am here for it. Eric, do it. Just give her the green light for everything. Just do it. Peer pressure, Eric. Peer pressure. I'm telling you how to do your business. Give her the green light.
I want to make you lots of money.
Let her make you money, damn it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so a bunch of great stuff you got going on with Ripverse, obviously. Is there anything coming up that maybe you didn't have your hands on that you want to push people in the direction of, or what would you say is the thing that you're most excited for that you did not touch yourself or work on yourself?
Oh, Alpha Core Horseman Exclave. So I was not the lead editor on that project, but from what I've seen from it, it's really good. It's really, really good. Chuck really outdid himself on that one.
Where'd it go? There it is.
Yeah. And then outside of that, I want to say Salvage.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't get to edit that. I just kind of look at it from afar, being like, that looks really cool.
Now, do you mean Salvage Exclave or Salvage number one?
Salvage one. Salvage
proper
one
salvage.
Good. Yeah, proper salvage.
Proper salvage, which is somewhere down here. There it is.
Yep.
Salvage Lethal Force number one.
Yep.
But you can check out these titles and all the other awesome titles that are coming up at Rippaverse.com, and then just click the pre-order button, everybody. You go do all that. So we're just getting here, ready to wrap up here. Queen Comics Life says, hey, ComixDad gave me the green light to get my nails done next week as a gift to myself for working so hard.
You work so hard.
You work so hard. Green light. Within reason, I need an invoice, and I need also a quote. There we go. Business.
How does the nails make money? Like, just have a
yes.
Just show like your very finely done nails holding up a game that you're advertising, and then you can write that off to the tax.
There you go. Prove to me how the nails will make money. There we go. And then PJ's in the chat says, Carrow, ComixDad just got off Discord with Danny.
Oh, hey, Penny.
PJ? Okay, I need an invoice and all the books you're buying. That's fair.
No, you can do that. No, if you were reviewing books online, you can send that to your tax guy, and you can get that back. Yeah.
Well, I need to set up a ComixDad LLC first.
You can, I mean, you don't need an LLC. You can do it under sole proprietorship. That's free.
Oh. Well, then it sounds like you and I need to have a little bit further of a chat in the future when it comes the beginning of tax time next year.
Yeah. Just keep your receipts for all the books that you do, and just tell your tax guy that you did it for marketing for the companies. You'll get a rebate for it.
Done and done.
See,
but,
I'm helping.
Yeah, you are helping, and just real quick. So, as part of, we've talked a lot of Rippaverse, obviously, but there is one thing on here, just not really comic related, but it's been going around the last couple of days, and this is comic adjacent, because we are talking about physical media. And comics is, obviously, physical media is a huge part of comic books. So PlayStation announced, and Sony announced that by 2028, physical discs for new games are going to go away. And Domino's Pizza UK says makes about as much sense as changing to digital pizzas. So, first off, good on you, Domino's Pizza UK.
That's pretty sassy for UK too. Well done.
Yes, well done indeed. And then they put out an official statement. In response to trends in the gaming industry, as of April 1st, 2027, Domino's UK will cease production of physical pizzas and shift to production of digital pizzas only. Consumers will be able to download our full range of delicious pizza codes and using the power of the imagination to enjoy them in an entirely virtual sense.
That's amazing.
So, good on you, Domino's UK. But with, obviously, we've been talking about stuff like this, and there's other great stuff, like I mentioned earlier, with this, like physical is key, but I would like to get your thoughts on kind of this move from Sony. Even though it's game related, it obviously is going to have an impact on pretty much all of culture and pop culture and entertainment, especially physical media and how we consume it and how we collect it and everything. So what's just your initial thoughts on it?
This has been a conversation that's been going on for a couple of years, and part of the reason people want to latch on to a physical media is because of that one essay, you will have nothing and be happy, right?
Yep.
Where it's like, that's not what I want though. Like if I buy a book, I want the book to stay with me, because I've also been victim of having to purchase a book on Kindle, and then Kindle has like taken the book back, but I have not been reimbursed at all, right?
Oh, geez.
Yeah, so like that's the thing that's happened. And that's actually why I started collecting more physical media, because everything that I wanted to have that I felt was worth having is something I wanted to keep in physical. In terms of like the games, a really good example is Hades 2. I know some people have like hot and cold reactions to Hades 2, but one of the things that completely changed the game is that when they came out with the DLCs that completely rewrote the game, right? But if they had actually done the game in the way that they had intended it for, then this wouldn't be a thing, right?
Sure.
But this is like a weird business model that they've been doing, where they release a game and then they do DLCs that cost money in order to make more money. And nobody really wants to do a finished project anymore. They just want to nickel and dime us until, they make quota. But even on that front, like all of the stuff that they're doing, in terms of games, it's just very lackluster. Like I was telling one of my friends who I usually play games with, I was like, look, I'm sorry, there's nothing online that I'm really interested in right now. Right? Like you and I play, like he and I play Stardew Valley all the time, because I'm like, everything else is lame. Right? I'd rather play a pixel farm simulation game and shoot the shit than do any of this other stuff.
I will say, Queen Comics Wife and I, we played last weekend with a couple of friends, game Mecha Chameleon. It's a prop hunt game. I don't know if you've heard of it or seen about it. You're basically a white blob stick figure-ish of a person, and you just paint yourself to blend in with the background, and then you get hunted down with paintball shotguns. So, that is kind of fun. if you're into prop hunt type of stuff. But yeah, and like that would be almost like I've kind of hated that format with games, even though I'm guilty of paying into it myself, because sometimes a game is so good that I just need that next piece of it. But it'd be like as if John Byrne's Elsewhere that released last week. It'd be like if they released the book. I mean, obviously it's volume 1 of 3, but it's like they release volume 1, but you're only getting about this much of it.
Yeah.
And then here's 20 more bucks, and now you have a complete book. Which, by the way, this is fantastic so far. I highly recommend it if people are able to get their hands on it. And that's the other thing too, is like Marvel, this is not done by Marvel. This is just Marvel giving John Byrne the approval to basically do his own X-Men stories. after where his run on X-Men stopped. Like, Marvel has so much money that they could do by preserving physical media that they just don't want to do. Like, their epic collections, their omnibuses, all that stuff, that's been a big topic in like comic fandom online over the last few days as well, or over the last week, because they're leaving so much money on the table. People want, even though it's not first prints of stuff, people just want to read the older Marvel comic stories, whether it's Uncanny X-Men, Amazing Spider-Man, Fantastic Four, and like, people will pay for omnibuses, people will pay for epic collections, reprint the hell out of those, and you will have constant money, even if current day Marvel ends up folding under the weight of itself, of the weight of the crap that it has. Like, it's physical is the way to preserve not just entertainment, but it also preserves history, like gaming history, comic history, just history in general. So, you and I think a lot of people are on the same page with all of this. But
Yeah, no, it's like I don't like, if I want a song, I buy the song, I download it, right? Like, it's not like, yeah, no. If I want it, I own it and I have it. That's kind of where it's gotten to right now, just because of all the times where I've bought something and it's just been taken away.
yeah, for sure, and definitely is right on the same page as the rest of us. Real quick PSA from Queen Comics Wife: give everybody advice: do not buy naked Doritos; they are disgusting. So with that note, Carrow, let everybody know what you got going on, even though we've pretty much covered it. Let them know where they can find you, and all that good stuff before we get out of here.
I am writer of many books and many articles over on thatparkplace.com if that's something that you're interested in. I write on Substack, I write on X articles if you want my hot takes on certain opinions. As soon as we're done here, I'm running over to the MFAR cast over on Marv's channel so we can talk about pop culture news if that's something that you were interested in. We will probably talk about Supergirl and Avatar and all that goodness. And
Here we go. Here's the articles on X that you do. That's what I was looking for.
yeah.
Bunch of articles, bunch of different topics. Carrow's been jiving and writing about. But please continue. I was just trying to find this so I could throw it up for people.
Yeah, I usually write about pop culture reactions to things. So, women in comics give boys heroes, AI is not going anywhere, like all that stuff. Where on thatparkplace.com, I was like, this movie's trash, and let me tell you why. But on Substack, that's where I do more of my writing craft and writing life things. So,
Gotcha.
So if that's something that you're interested in, you can find that there. And then Rippaverse lets me write things, so that's kind of cool.
And all of Carrow's links to Rippaverse, to Dirty Deeds 2, to Tales from Twisted Ravens, and then also Carrow's link tree are all in the description of the stream, so go click on all of it, check it all out. Carrow, thank you so much for being here. I know you got to go hang out with people that are much cooler than me, but I appreciate you taking the time to hang out here for a little bit. And ladies and gentlemen, always remember, comics are good for you, and Seth Rogen sucks. Have a good night, everybody.
So tune in, geek out, it's all in good fun. Talking shop with ComixDad, everyone. Let's keep the conversation lively and bright. See you next time for more insight. Welcome to Talkin' Shop, where we never stop discussing heroes, villains, every plot twist we've got, from ink to screen and all in between. With ComixDad and friends, it's the scene.